Hello, welcome back to Piers Rocks. Today, 10 reasons you should use One Rom, the most flexible ROM replacement for your retro system, and 5 reasons you shouldn't. One Rom comes in 24, 28, 32 and 40 pin versions to replace nearly every mask programmed ROM and EPROM that was used on retro systems, like this Commodore 64 and this Amiga behind me that's running a One Rom. So I thought it'd be useful in this video to give 10 reasons why I think you should use One Rom in your retro system. Reason number 1. You can reprogram One Rom in situ in your retro system. This massively reduces the wear and tear on your retro system and on the ROM, constantly levering it in and out of your motherboard. All the different versions of One Rom come with a USB connector, so you can just jack into this whether the retro system is off or on and reprogram it at will. The second reason is that One Rom replaces both EPROMs and mask programmed ROM. This mask programmed ROM here is from an Atari 520 ST. This was programmed at factory with the ROM image. Another complexity with mask programmed ROMs is that they typically came with factory programmable chip select lines. This is one or more lines on the chip that could be configured to be active high or active low. Active basically means if they're all active, the chip should serve bytes. If at least one of them is inactive, the chip shouldn't serve. This makes mask programmed ROMs much harder than EPROMs to replace in a retro system, because you tend to need to have either hardware bodges to EPROMs or custom hardware replacements for that particular type of mask programmed ROM. One Rom supports all of that complexity in firmware, so for each pin count ROM, you just need a single One Rom variant. That leads into reason number 3. You only need a single version of One Rom for all of the mask programmed and EPROMs that you're replacing in that pin count. One Rom 28, for example, supports all of the different EPROMs and mask programmed ROMs you can see on the screen right now. I've already mentioned programming as part of the fact that you don't need to remove One Rom from the host system to reprogram it. But because One Rom supports USB, you don't need an EPROM programmer like you do for an EPROM-based replacement. Reason number 5, One Rom's cheap. If you're producing them in smaller quantities, then you should be expecting to pay about $10 per, depending on the variant. Reason number 6 is that One Rom is software defined. That means it's easy to enhance and add new ROM types and features to One Rom. Often when someone notifies me on GitHub that like a new chip version supported, I can add that support in a matter of hours or days without spinning up a new hardware revision. It also means being able to add new features like adding SRAM support on the same hardware as is used for ROM support, monitoring the host activity via One Rom, and also something which I added recently, which was the ability to live modify the image that's being served by One Rom. For example, if you're developing for a retro system that has an image based on a ROM. Reason number 7, all of the source code and the hardware design files are fully open source with very permissive licensing. So you're free to have your own One Roms produced. You can sell them commercially if you like, and you can go in and modify and distribute different versions of the source code. Reason number 8, One Rom's very small. It's nearly the size of the original ROM socket that these ROM chips went in. It is very, very slightly wider. It sticks out about 1 millimeter wider in each direction. But other than that, it's pretty much the same footprint as the original chip. Reason number 9, this is subjective and I'm biased. I think One Rom looks great, and I think it looks great in a retro system. And number 10, One Rom uses all new parts. It's based around the RP2350 microcontroller, which is guaranteed to be in production till at least 2045. That's somewhat different to the second-hand, typically rebadged EPROMs that you buy from sketchy sources on AliExpress. Okay, so why shouldn't you use One Rom? Well, reason number 1 on my list is if your original ROMs still work and you have no reason to change the image that your machine's running off, don't upgrade them. As I said earlier, every time you remove a component from a retro system, you risk damaging the retro system and also the component. If you have no need to do that, don't. Number 2 is quite a niche technical reason. One Rom has a boot time before it can start serving ROM images, which is around about 15 milliseconds, and that's kind of inherent to the hardware that One Rom uses. That means if you have a retro system that has an incredibly fast reset time and expects the ROM to be serving an image within 15 milliseconds of power on, then One Rom isn't going to work for you. I think that's incredibly rare. I've not had a single user of One Rom so far tell me that that's a problem. And also because One Rom is so flexible, it will be easy to add some additional firmware to One Rom and use one of the header pins to hold the host system in reset until One Rom's ready to serve bytes. Reason number 3, One Rom is inherently less deterministic than a traditional EPROM or mask programmed ROM. That's inherent to One Rom's design because it's running firmware and hardware peripherals within the RP2350. You can't guarantee exactly when One Rom is going to serve each byte after the chip select lines go active. For the vast majority of applications, that simply doesn't matter. All that matters is that One Rom is fast enough and gets the bytes served within the required time. So far, I've not had anyone report that One Rom isn't fast enough for the system they've tried it in. And reason number 4, while One Rom is pretty cheap, it's not as cheap as these sketchy rebadged EPROMs that you can buy off AliExpress. And if they serve the purpose and you've got them and you've got an EPROM reader, use the EPROMs. And reason number 5, I haven't got a reason number 5. I couldn't come up with one. If you have a reason for using One Roms that I haven't covered, please do stick it down in the comments below. If you have a reason for not using One Rom that I haven't covered, stick it down in the comments below as well. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, please do consider subscribing and sticking around for the next video. Till then, rock on.